Okay, so I have the door open. You can listen to the wind and the sprinkles. It's so crappy. Um, I was trying to think of our sun rotation here, our sun and bad weather rotation. I don't know. It's been a couple days of like overcast, like a weird color. Like to me, just looking at this right here, it looks like everything looks like weird colors. Like everything looks so weird to me. And I keep trying to figure out like what is it that makes me keep feeling like I'm being in a different time or something. And because some of this stuff is so hard to explain, like it's weird. And so I was thinking, well, I mean, there's things happening like, you're standing at the sink doing something, and all of a sudden you feel like, um, oh, I'm going out to Hollywood tonight. And it's like I'm in this whole other world all of a sudden from the past that used to be. And then I have to reorient myself and be like, no, wait a minute. No, you're here. You're right here, right now. That was a long time ago. And so weird stuff like that. Uh, all sorts of things. I just think that there's a lot of weird things. But I want to talk about one thing that is really cool. So Amy, her and I talk a lot about medical stuff and everything. And so we'll talk about our dogs and stuff. And so she's always sharing information with me that is helpful. Anybody who shares information with me, I always try all these different things. And so anyways, she had worked with a dog medium Reiki healer and stuff, and she had sent me her webpage or whatever. So there was a part that said contact, and so I sent a message to her because I wanted to see how much it was. Because I know some of those people, they'll charge a lot of money, like a couple $100s. This person's totally reasonable. This one was 50. And so but I haven't even paid her yet. That is another thing that really shows this person's integrity to me, is that she did the work before she received the payment because she felt more motivated to be more caring to that little lady back there, Mrs. Grumbles. And I'll tell you what she had said too. Let me see if she's gonna come in. She's very grumbly. Do you want to come in, honey? Do you want to come in with mom? She even talked about my work. Uh, do you want to come in? But she's going to be disruptive for sure. And that always gets me off on my train of thought. It's very distracting. It like really pulls at my heartstrings and stuff. Like I know she's here to teach me things because I have such a reaction to her being in pain or sad or whatever. It's weird. Okay, hold on. Oh my gosh, there's lots of stuff falling out of the sky. I'm sure it's the wind. It's so freaking windy. That's one thing. It's so windy. Earlier, I made her come in because it was kind of spooking me. I was like, God damn, there's gonna be branches and shit. This one tree, too, that is back there is so freaking huge, and it doesn't have a lot around it. So when the wind starts going, and it is the tallest one, it's fucking scary. And I'm always looking like, okay, so if it fell, and it all depends on which way the wind's blowing, man. And if it falls going that way, it will go straight down my driveway into the street. And with minimal damage to my house, it will pretty much crush my other building and probably my deck and stuff. But hold on, let me give her some medicine. Y'all just join into my day. My day is taking care of Stella, basically. Here, sweetie. Have some of this. And you just gotta lay down and rest, honey. Okay. That's the CBD stuff. Sometimes it just conks her out, but she's very uncomfortable. And it was just so funny too, some of the stuff the ladies said, because I had sent my question in, about a session, and she sent me back a thing and told me how much it is and how much it is if she does remote, but how much if she comes and travels to you if you're in a general vicinity of her. And So, I'm way across from her. So, of course I was going to do remote. And then, and she had said she needs more information about the dog and stuff. And so I went ahead and sent it to her, even though I wasn't going to be able to do it for a couple weeks because of, I made the appointment for the car. And that's going to be a couple $100. And until I go pay for that, I don't want to spend any other money because I'm also going to go to Seattle next week while my daughter's here. And we were going to be going to do the surgery next week, but instead we'll go for the recheck. And so then I was like, well, then I'll buy her lunch. So, it's kind of I don't know, it's like the 3D thing to do. And, honey, you're okay. You're okay. Man, I'm having horrible things like inflammation stuff. I know there's more to it than just, it's like the chemicals and stuff add on too. Honey, you can come and lay right here by mama. You can come and lay right here. I know he just drives you crazy. Drives her crazy when I'm doing things, especially when she doesn't feel good. And so this lady said, okay, let me get back to the story. So I had sent her the thing and she sent it back and she said how much it is and everything. And so she said all these information that she would have to know. And she would need pictures and stuff. And I was like, oh, I got plenty of those. And, this is my little girl. And so I sent a couple pictures and more about Stella's story, that she's disabled her whole life with, honey. Oh, so she does have a little bit of that kind of syndrome-y, kind of like, a sick kid syndrome. Is a kid who's been sick their whole life, they're going to have certain personality traits and stuff. And so, honey, I am trying to do my work, okay? You're going to have to come over here and lay by me or something. You're going to have to wait for me to finish. I got finished doing this now. And so 7 minutes in, I got to finish. I'm not starting over again. This is the second time. So anyways, man, my ears are killing me. So I sent the stuff and then the woman sent me back a thing. And then she said, well, and also I was thinking in my mind, I wanted to send this stuff because I knew I was going to do the appointment. And I thought she would start connecting with Stella's energy ahead. Because I talked about that before, how we create these bridges of contact. And so I wanted that bridge to start being built so that she would have good contact with Stella. So I wanted her to already be tuned into her. But so she was moved by what Stella's going through. And so she said that she was fine, that I could pay her as soon as I could. It's fine. And but she wanted to go ahead and do the session. So then she sent me the session this morning, recording. I bawled through it. Oh my God, I was crying because she's talking about when she was talking to Stella. And I understand about telepathy, and because I'm always talking to the beings, and I know that they don't look like us. And I mean, some are just like what you think of as just a big brain, just a big mind, just information. Just as so, when you're tapping into the universal mind, it is it's all different states of being. It's not just like you're just talking to a person. Like, we should be able to be developing that, especially when we're local to each other. And I think that we do it way more than people understand. I believe. And oh girl, you're getting me so off of my thing. And I know that is on purpose too. I know there's a lot of hostile energy around us all right now. It is, it's struggling to stay alive. Stella, come over here and lay by me and stop it. We'll see how far that goes. So, she said, man, she's really trying to make me stop. I'm determined. Oh man, my ear hurts. And so she sent me the recording, and it was making me so emotional because she was like, and when I was asking her questions and talking to her and stuff, I was like, oh my gosh, Stella's just laying right here and she's having a conversation with somebody. And so the things that she told her were just so accurate because she's turned her nose up to her food, and she's being very like this. After I talked to this lady, then I just gave her a plate with just some salmon and cottage cheese, and she ate that up. Because the woman, and I had said she's so freaking picky about her food. Maybe I was having a conversation on TikTok with somebody about this, which TikTok is. I got a whole thing about that too. TikTok is just so weird of an energy right now. I'm just like, not even going on. I'm not recording anything or anything. It's just like, ugh, something feels weird. And now the government has access as of tomorrow, and they're going to start shutting down accounts. So there's going to probably be a heavy, hard hit into some of this stuff, but that is a part to outrage people to move us into the next thing. So there will be some accounts and the stuff that will go down, information. So I'm sure we're going to see a big sweep. Who knows if that's going to be a part of, in mine. Um, you just got to got to go with the flow and know that where it's all going is someplace better. And so she had said that when she was talking to her, so I make Stella's food all the time. And, but Stella is super, super picky about her stuff, and she will turn her nose up all the time to different stuff. And I'm constantly, oh my God, and I'll go through different dogs' names and stuff. King would be eating that up. I'm just gonna say that like she's got a big bowl of food, and I made her potatoes and eggs this morning, and she has a big bowl of food sitting there. I don't know what it is that she doesn't like. I did try and sneak in some uh, parasite stuff into there, and her nose is so fucking good, and she can smell it, so that could be why she's not going to eat it. Maybe it's going to end up going out where the other animals, maybe they need some parasite cleanse, and that's the way the universe is going to do it. I don't know, but she told the lady that she's having a lot of GI problems, that her stomach, and I know that her stomach had been bothering her, as I could tell. And I don't know if it's something with her medicine, and or if it's something with this funked up water, because she always wants to drink water outside, or if it's something they're putting in the food. Like, it's so hard to see, especially like I'm not giving her kibble, which yesterday I shared a TikTok where a holistic doctor's aide lady, she said once she had started working for a holistic doctor, the 3 things that she no longer will do is not giving her dog any of these other than the RABIES one, which there's a lot of doctors who say, they shouldn't be doing that. They shouldn't be doing it, especially without doing a titer. They don't even know what the viral load is in the animal. They could be perfectly fine with the abilities to fight it, and then keep giving them more. It's like, no, that is, there's a lot of vets who are saying that is to a lot of animals. And then she's no more kibble, which, yeah, you watch enough videos and stuff about that, then you see like, man, their diet is so restricted, and it's all to formulate more vet appointments, more of that stuff. It's to create health issues. And so they get no nutrition from it. So, and what was the other thing? The other thing was probably the first thing I was going to say too. um, but whatever it is, I'll think of it. And but the food thing, and so I have been giving her better food. I've been making her food her whole life. I started making the food, and then I did go through and get her some kibble for a while. And I thought, because it seemed like she just kept being hungry all the time. I thought maybe there's something in there that they need, and she keeps trying to get it. So then there was a period of time where I had the 2 mixed, but then I was like, when she kept having all these breakouts, which she still is continuing to have these breakouts, I feel like that's a part of what's hurting her neck even, is so the food whatever. She was I would cook her food, make her food, and then she is just progressively gotten picky, like goes up and smells it and turns her nose up to it. But she'll still eat if I give her the right things. Like she'll sit there and mow down on some treats or whatever. So it's not like she's reached that point in her age. And this lady also said that there's no that she's going to continue to decline because she's getting older, and but she's not going to be dying like anytime soon. She said it's not going to be like soon or anything. So I have more time with her. But there is and she did say about the glucosamine, and see, she didn't know that I hadn't been having her on the I lost track of it. It was when I was really focused on getting my surgery, and she was running out of her treats. I wasn't even putting it together that that was her glucosamine. I had just totally forgot about it because I had switched off the pills and was getting her glucosamine treats because she hates the pills. And so then I had ran out of them and I didn't even put it together. But so it takes, this lady said, like a month to get built back up. So, I'll get her back on those things. She gave a couple more things too, but she said to look for a chiropractor. And what's the weird thing about it is that kept coming into my orbit. I kept seeing videos about dog chiropractors and dogs getting aligned and stuff like that. And so that had already been coming into my mind. And so this was like more of a confirmation thing because I kept thinking that's what Stella needs is this. And so she said that, yeah, her hips and stuff hurt. And she said that basically at this point, it was like all of her limb, everything just hurts. It just aches all the time. And which I had already been witnessing that. Like I had said yesterday, she'll sit there and lick her paws and she'll pick another one where I just know that she's just like, but it's kind of like an old lady who's just sitting here going, oh, like, this aching. But does that mean she wants to stop living, stop seeing her grandkids, stop having any, because sometimes she's sitting there rubbing her hands and aching. And so, and there has got to be more, I've started with the golden paste. I had this really good honey that I had gotten, and as the New Zealand honey is supposed to be all this, it's supposed to be extra good or whatever, and you're not supposed to put it in tea or it breaks it down too much. So I made some golden paste for her, and so get on the golden paste more, get on the glucosamine, get that more into my mind, and elaborate on the pain meds and stuff and see. She said that there's this one that her dogs take that they've been on for a long time, and it's really, but it's a medication. So it's always, the medications always freak me out because of the side effects, and what I went through with side effects, which trips me out. Even yesterday when I was out walking and seeing my veins and them being so big and puffy when had deteriorated to they were just fine lines. Like all my veins were just like, everything was falling apart inside of me. So, I totally believe in the holistic. Like, if I would have kept going in their direction, I probably wouldn't even be here at this point. I'd be a fucking wreck. And how much they push people to just drink. Like, what was it? I was watching something, and I think it was a movie or something, and everything was just, have a drink, have a drink, have a drink. And people come home from work and they just sit and have a drink. And then it's like a disconnecting from each other and going in. I don't know. There's way healthier ways to build your relationships than sitting and having a drink together. And, anyways, now I'm getting uncomfortable. But so she had said that she has all those aches and stuff, and the food thing is because of her stomach. But she said she's having horrible headaches, which I had been noticing because she'll keep squinting this one eye. And so it was more confirmation. She said she's having horrible headaches because her neck is out of alignment right up in here. And that is where I had seen. Like when I go up and touch, it ripples out and stuff. And she does not like it. And so, but she has a big cyst thing that I keep thinking that's probably pushing and bothering her. But but I'm going to look into the pet chiropractor thing, even though I don't like chiropractors, because working on the neuro floor, I had seen enough people who have been seriously injured by chiropractic things. Like you got to really be careful. Like people, I don't think realize how much malpractice there is with dental and chiropractic, like all different things. It's not just ones, GPs and surgeons and stuff, all these different things. There's so much malpractice with dentists and chiropractors. And I don't think that they're trying to, I think they're trying to do the right thing, but however it is that they're taught or whatever, it's people are getting their necks broken and stuff, so getting their backs broken. So you got to really be careful. I quit doing those a long time ago because I used to, because my scoliosis, and I've got such a twist in my neck. And there was so much time where I couldn't move my head, I couldn't move my neck. I was in so much pain all the fucking time. And so I would go to a chiropractor to get adjusted. And every time it would inflame more when they would do it. And another thing that I found out years later, this was really scary too, is because I've gone through so many fucking, like, if you got any medical things, you know how many fucking motherfucking tests you go through. And so I've had tons of x-rays, CT scans, MRIs, and all this stuff of my head, my neck, my whole fucking body. And so the in my neck thing. So this is, and this was a creeper too, because this was supposed to be some holistic guy. So I was, and he, my person I was seeing, my nurse practitioner, she was convinced that this guy could help align my back, straighten my back out. This guy has done this or whatever. I don't even know what the fuck he was. And so she sent me to him. And so I went in, and I'm thinking, okay, this is ridiculous, but okay. And this guy's just going to do his magic and lay my back. And so I went in and I was laying on my stomach on his bed thing. And somehow, you're laying back and your hands are like tipped back. So they're just like this. Somehow his junk ends up in my hand. So, yeah, I didn't keep going there. And then but when he was discussing the x-rays and stuff before his episode of like, do you know where your penis is, because I think you do, is that my neck thing. And so the vertebrae are supposed to go like all go straight up and down, and then you have the thing that drains all. Oh, and I noticed this eye is this eye is my big problem. And I kept trying to think about that too, of like when they're doing all those tests and they check my my field of vision. This one is definitely closing then. And I'm doing what they said. They said, smoking weed was for glaucoma. That's what they said all that time ago. And I'm not going to go in and do all this poison. It's just done worse and worse for my fucking vision. So, anyways, he had said with my back that one, with these 5 or 6, that one was going out the wrong direction. And he said that anything that like a flimsy chiropractor alignment thing could break my neck and make me paralyzed. So I was like, a car wreck. And a lot of times I'll wonder, is it still bulging out like that? Like, and it's weird because we're not really flesh and blood. Our body is showing us something. Like everything in my life was very out of alignment at that time. Like I was totally into drugs, give me a pill. And I was a total workaholic. And, ask my kids, I was total selfish, I thought about myself. And it's weird too, because your kids don't really know how much you really think about them, and how much, if you ever even have a break and go hang out with your friends or something, like, you're so evil. Like, but Anyways, you can't get too caught up in what their perspective is, because their perspective is from a different angle, you know? I mean, if you're talking to your friends, you're going to get a different perspective. If you're talking to your mom, you're going to get a different perspective. If you're talking to your ex, you're going to get it. Everybody's got a different perspective. And it depends on how many perspectives you're going to allow to define how you're going to behave. You know, it's up to you. But anyways, with the alignment thing, that just freaked me out. And then for how many people I had seen who had gotten injured by going to those. But the ones I have seen, especially there's this one big guy. I don't know what state he's in or anything, but I've seen him on TikTok. And he does these big adjustments. She said, look for a horse chiropractor, which makes more sense because Stella's size. And so I'm going to, and luckily I have like horses and stuff around here. So I'm sure I'll be able to find one. Well, we'll see. I don't know. I'm going to try and see. And, but then also I'm going to keep working on trying to get rid of like the cyst back there on the back of her neck and see if that doesn't relieve some of the pressure that's pushing down on probably a nerve. It's probably because it's going down her spine. It's probably, you know, a lot of nerves and stuff. I'm sure it's adding to more pain. And then whatever they're poisoning, as you know, has got, creates inflammation. So everything hurts. Everything is so uncomfortable. And then it's so dreary. And then the wind. And then one of the things why I was like, well, I should go and record. Like, if this wind keeps going, our power could end up going out. So always keep that in mind. You know, if you don't see me for a couple days, that our power could be out. Is especially like right now. Like there's so many with the storms and stuff. And oh, yesterday I had seen somebody share, you know, Joe being all cocky. He's ready to take on Donald. Donald is wanting to debate him, and so he's ready, you know, to go out there and make Donald his little bitch. This is going to be a spectacle, and it is. And I don't know if they're really going to go through with it or how these two, but it will be a spectacle. It's going to be Saturday Night Live kind of bullshit, probably. But it's also, you got to remember, besides it just being a show, it's going to be outrageous because it's supposed to be the people who are hanging on that aspect of control, that they have to be outraged. They have to be like, oh, just so fed up. They're just going to reach their limit. Like Trump will probably say some stuff that is like outrageous. And that's going to be to push people to be like, well, you can't just blind follow somebody. You can't just be whatever he says. No, you got to figure out, what do you think? Not just whatever he says. And he's a part of the show. So, you know, that's not even what he really thinks. He's just saying stuff to get people to react, to get people to be shocked, to be outraged, to think for themselves, to be like, oh, so mad. And so, and then Joe's going to come in and just more with his bullshit. It's going to be more stuff to just really irritate the fuck out of you. So, you know, if you watch it or whatever, I think it's going to be a show. Like if I see it being on or something, I might watch it. I don't know when it's supposed to be, and if it's just going to be a big show leading up to it. And then there's going to be, because all of this is leading to like, what is that? I see like, like, what is that kind of shootout at OK Corral where the two guys are lining up and they're that's where the whole thing is about, is this showdown. It is because everything is leading to this showdown, to this flipping everything around. Everything is going to flip, and this is what people just don't get. People just think that we're going to keep going in the same direction. But when you understand more about the universe and how the universe works and what it's doing here and the energy, and we have gone that far. We've already gone that far. The universe isn't here to destroy us. We're here to learn and to grow. And so we aren't, you know, going to go off the cliff. Like there are going to be some people who are going to go off the cliff because there's got to be drama. It's got to have an impact. We got to be like, oh my gosh. You know, another thing that is so wild too is there's so much of the jinn with the side going like in the Congo, like all over the place. And this group of people, the SJWs, just get so focused on this one group. I just saw this girl talking about like just the mass confusion over all these different GoFundMe's. I don't know what all these people, man. So there's a million GoFundMe's to help the people in the strip get away from there. And I don't know. I mean, there's a part where it's like the SJWs are very trusting. They're very trusting on the, but I was like that too. Like back when I was giving Sally Struthers money, and it wasn't even her. She was just the face. But I've given so much money too, trusting that it's going to help somebody. And so I'm not saying that they're bad people or something. It's just a part of where you are in your learning. And for those of us who have already seen the corruption that's behind it, and a lot of these people can't even take care of themselves, and they're doing whatever they can to send money. And this girl's moral dilemma over, well, when somebody's almost reached their goal and you can help them so they can escape, so you can give them the rest to reach their goal, or do you go to somebody who is so far from their goal to help them go? And she's just like, what do we do? What do we do? It's like, that's why I said everything is going to keep being these moral questions. Everything is going to keep giving you this like a moral platitude, moral, like this dilemma between where you find what's right and wrong, because there's not a general right and wrong. It is all dependent on how you view things. And what we keep trying to do is make a general, but that doesn't work. And that's why you're going to keep seeing it like a card deck going in when you're shuffling. It is like this shuffle going through our 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 public, our the the collective. Is like a shuffling of energy going through the collective, so that people can keep centering in on how they want to represent themselves, how they want to see things, how they look at things, because it is such a variable. Like, I couldn't go and tell that girl, like, nobody's probably getting that money to begin with. It's a bunch of people who set these accounts up are taking them. You're not helping any of these people. The way you help is to go out and help in your general area. And if you really want to be helping humanity, like going out and like around here in our America, it has probably more to do with feeding homeless, uh, helping people get off the streets or get medical care, because there's a lot of really sick old people who can't get themselves around. Like there's ways to go in and help in your community. And that is that when we trust all the communities, and yeah, there's some that are being very much on the stage to really get us to see. But one of the aspects that you got to see about that is that all the things you were ignoring for so long, even focusing on one area while other ones are being destroyed all around those ones, and not giving them any mind. But there's been a lot going on in Hawaii. Like those people have really stepped up and stood together. And I don't know how much progress they're making, but that is the energy, is this stepping up as a community, coming together and taking action, and not letting these people dictate as to how we have to define our communities and follow their rules. And so, and it's going to keep going in different kind of locations and stuff as things progress, as people come together. And that is the development of that is the wave of success and unity, as the people in different communities come together for causes to move in the direction of human rights. And because the people who get really caught up in different places, like they're the savior, they're the rescuer. And it's just weird too, as how all these people are like cultural appropriation, when these are the people who came up with it to begin with. you know, telling us like, you can't do this, you can't do that. And that's cultural appropriation. And then they turn around and now, you know, everybody is wearing these these scarf things, showing you how to wear them and stuff like that. It's like, this is like, so, but each person, each soul, you know, has to go through its own establishment of these boundaries of what it is that they see in the direction they're going. Because there's going to be people who are going to wake up to all of that stuff, just like there's going to be people who are going to wake up to the government stuff. And I don't know how much more ridiculous and outrageous it's going to keep going. There's uh, I added some more videos onto the video yesterday because there's a prime minister who was shot out in the street, and now people who is Slovakian are saying that it's because he was going against the W with the E, and then he was going against them, and so they just go in and try and take him out, and then you got to be in fear. But then we also have this whole sanction of governing officials who are going down because they were a part of the institution of control and taking, taking our taking any energy out of our existence. And it's not like we're giving it freely. We're being tricked into giving it. And so any of those bloodsuckers, that they all will be exposed, and they're all going to be going down. There's more and more of them. They keep, going down. There's going to continue to be a lot of drama as this goes. Like there's just one storm, one tornado after another in some of these places across America. Like they are just hit nonstop. I mean, at some point, is there going to be any houses to even take out? Like, where are all these people going? They had already done that. And then it's about to start with the hurricane season, too. And so then they'll start with all of those storms. It's like it's going to keep being this nonstop. And the storms on the coast and stuff, like there's in Galveston, they were underwater. And then a cargo thing went and took out a bridge. There's going to be more and more of that because it all has to do with the control of our movement, contain and control. So they cut us off from each other, cut us off from exits and stuff. But at some point, then when it is enough people awake or whatever the thing is that they're looking for, then there will be a movement towards going to safer places. Right now, it's kind of up to the soul. Like you got to be listening to your internal, and the people who aren't, it's because they're supposed to leave. They're supposed to go out in this round of storms or whatever. I mean, there's constantly people going out in big amounts too. Like there was a bus wreck, a train, like there's keeps being all sorts of different things. I think the bus wreck, it was like 50 people, 8 people were dead. There was 30 that got injured, 8 in the hospital and critical. Like, I don't even know. There's going to keep being these things where there's going to be, a bunch of people who are going to leave together. And there's going to keep being dramas. There's going to keep being miracles where people just can't even believe. There's going to keep being, sightings of ships. Oh, yeah, this video was cool because I had talked about this before. Because even when I got my telescope and I was looking up there and I started seeing the stars, and now I'm seeing people sharing pictures. I've seen this for a few years, though, so I've already talked about this. But I just seen another video where somebody was sharing a star, and it looks like dancing. It looks like a color is just dancing, and it is like the energy of self, like an energy of the star, the color, the vibrancy, the movement. It is like, we are all out there just dancing for ourselves in the cosmos. And then it is like it's weird because I don't know that you ever move just because you think you are here. It's a shifting in your consciousness, just like how You know, you can be in a dream and you're in some other country, and then you wake up and you're still in this one. So it's more of this shifting of our consciousness. Like we don't go there, we put ourselves there by focusing, by looking at that, and then we're there. And so, and but there's more of the, because I think stars are beings, and so there's more of that. I think more people connecting to that kind of energy, or seeing or questioning, like this isn't just like a little star, a little glistening thing out there. No, this is an energy being. This is a, and we're all, they're all around us, you know, they're everywhere. And that's what we are too, except for we're in this containment and in this game, you know. So we're in this, it is like we're birthed into this game so that we can play it to the highest degree. And but it is because it is like the people who are there, it's not like they're just their soul. There's like a separation. So you have your soul, but then you're birthed into this thing that causes this infiltration into what you believe you are. So you start thinking that you're this other thing, because that's what you can see and that's what you think that you can feel. So you believe you're this other character. And it is I don't know why I shut the door when I was having the wind and stuff, but it is kind of gone real still now. It was weird because it was so windy and so cold, and it was starting to drizzle. It's supposed to be raining for the next few days, and it's so overcast, and it's so fucking loud. And there keeps being like the people who talk about the CMEs or whatever, the things that are coming out of the sun, and there's so many more people now, like so confused, like what in the hell. I keep trying to tell people the sun is not white, and why do they keep thinking this is the sun? And like, yeah, I'm doing that for a few years. And but see, more and more people waking up, and that's the shift. That's what they're looking for, is more. But you can't rush it. You can't make it go faster. You can't make it happen. You can't force it. There is a set time. Everybody has a set time. It's the universe, and that is like why when you're feeling rushed or angry or frustrated or anything, that's inside of you, where you have to go in and look at that stuff and find what is causing that in you, because that's what you're there to heal. You're not just here to save the world and get everybody to wake up. No, you're here to learn, just like everybody is here to learn. So it's, the universe has its own pace. That's why I said you got to just get into the relaxing and going with the flow. There's nothing that you can do to speed it up or change it. Believe me, I have tried. And it is not possible. It's got its own flow and it's going at its own pace. And you have got to get into the pace of the 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 whole, the experience. And so anyways, but there's other beings who are their soul. Like we have this part where we are disconnected, like where you have to connect to yourself, to your higher self, to the spiritual world outside of you. You have to make that effort there. But there's other souls around who are their soul, like they are playing the role of their soul. And there's other souls, like even if you think of like the Watchers, and I said like the Watchers are not going to come and incarnate, but the Watchers could put out fractals of themselves to incarnate as a bunch of different people. Like the Watchers could be higher selves, but higher selves not just of like you and your higher self. They would be higher selves where they have the ability to experience a whole bunch of lives at once. And so that's what I mean too, is like the different abilities of the different energies that are out there. Like we aren't that kind of like if you go back and you connect to your higher self, Like your higher self may be one that is putting out a bunch of energies. And you may be one of the fractals that is putting out to experience. And then you go back to a sense of home where you go back with all of that. It's like to me, the broken teapot thing, and then going back and being the whole teapot, so you feel a sense of completion and wholeness, so you go back into your world, and but you're still an aspect of them. Just like if a person has a split personality, has these different aspects, even if they bring all of those aspects into a cohesion, then they still have those breakdowns in them, but they can just pull it into a cohesion of all the different ones instead of one having its own personality or something. That is what I kind of see like about what this ascension is. There are so many fucking high-pitched sounds today too. It's like so fucking loud. And it's giving me a headache. So I'm sure she has a headache. I'm sure she feels like shit. And I'll get aches and pains too, where she'll have aches and pains. So, and I know that's a part of our connection, which that dog psychic lady did talk about that too, about like, you know, us having other lives together, but in this life, she does see is that I've got this, like, she doesn't understand for sure what I'm doing, but she does see that there's something important, like I'm doing something that she knows, like I've got to do. She doesn't fully understand, but she knows that it is something good or something like that. Like, that is so cute. And I can share her information if anybody else is looking to contact with their dog. My other daughter, or one of my daughters, when her dog had died, she had also went and saw a dog psychic, and she got a bunch of really good. She cried all through it. She really got a good session too, where she got to have and her. She was talking to her dog that already passed, and it kind of, you know, when you go in and I don't know, it's just like make that contact so that you see like they didn't regret or resent you. And even if like a, you know, like if a teenager dies and a teenager is really resentful and hateful and saying mean stuff, and then they pass, that as soon as they pass, they are more regretful of the mean things they said because they have a higher picture. They see things and they understand things on a much more complex version. And so then they are more upset with themselves that they acted that way. They wish that they wouldn't have acted that way. So it's not like where you have to go in and be like, did they forgive me? Do they hold it against me or something? No, everybody holds the stuff against themselves. Not that many. I mean, you can go listen to a bunch of near-death experiences. I don't think you're going to find anywhere people are resentful of the people. They're always resentful of themselves. They wish they would have done something different. They wish they would have looked at it different. They wish they would have reacted different. They wish, you know, all that kind of stuff. And I feel like there's a worm crawling in my nose. Sometimes I swear to God. And you know, another thing too is when I've been out walking with Stella, I keep seeing fucking worms. The other day, this was kind of creepy because we were sitting outside and I was looking down and I was watching this area kept moving. And I kept thinking, well, it must be an ant in there getting something and he's going to come trudging out carrying his stuff, you know. And so I was watching and it was a fucking worm. It was like no worm I've ever seen before. It looked like something like you think of like a pinworm or something. It was it was kind of like about that long. It was really, really thin and brown and super wiggly. I was like, I swear to God, they're spraying this shit down on us every fucking time. I always go out and I'll see just worms in the street and stuff. It's like, I swear they're spraying parasites and stuff on us so that we ingest the larvae or whatever it gets inside of us and it makes us stay more sick. And what was that one? I had just seen a video. I think I shared this one too of somebody talking about all the different parasites and how sick that they really can make you. Pretty sure I put that video or that TikTok on one from yesterday too. Yesterday I put a bunch. Um, but I put some on this morning too. But I can't find the motivation to go. I started to go and make a video to put on there this morning, and then I was like, ah, I don't want to say that. I don't feel like saying that. And the energy on TikTok, it's intense and kind of desperate. And it was like fucking just the dog thing nonstop. Then these people all freaking out about the different things. Like it's all coming to the surface. And it's all, going to be this big dramatic moment of realization. And I think we're coming to the moment. I don't know what it is. I don't know how it's going to go down, but I feel like it's coming in. Like it's coming so close. And I keep feeling super excited. I keep feeling like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Like I feel like things are going to start getting so good and so exciting. And things are going to take such a turn for people. And it's just going to, just think about like when you can just go out and just talk to people regular, and we don't have all these different things that people are just so confused. I mean, they're so like stuck. And there's so many people that keep trying to understand through the 3D world. Like they keep trying to understand what's happening and why is this happening. Oh yeah, and there's more on the Micah murder. I knew, I knew that was bullshit. I thought the 911 call, when I heard it, I was like, that is somebody's voice on a phone. Like, how in the hell can you prove that that's hers? And then when she went in to go to get the thing, and they had the visual videotape of her going in and making this purchase and stuff, which her family were all trained with these things, so she knows what she's doing with them. But the way she just casually goes in and gets it and goes and stuff, I was thinking she's getting this for protection. Like, she's not getting this to go do herself in, like, in an hour. Like, she's just calmly going in, like, no, she's getting this for protection. And then the one video where her friend said that he had contacted her, and she had said that he said he wanted to get back together. And then she had told her family that she needed to get one of these to protect herself from him. And then the family said that when they saw her body, that was quite clear that somebody had been holding her hand. And he said it looked like that they had been trying to force her hand to be in a certain position by the bruising and stuff around here. And so, but how much cover up has been in this? It's all to bring this down. It's going to leak into religion, into, these people covering themselves, for crimes and doing this stuff, and the legal people that they have working for them. Like, and some of the legal people who are work for some of these people, they may not be as bad, but see, now they're going to be exposed for working for these criminals. There's going to be more. There's one, the exposing of people in their own personal corruption. There's this other one I saw. She was being interviewed, and there's been a bunch of these people who have started GoFundMes and social media to get attention and stuff, and pretended to be sick, and they weren't sick. And whatever's come out with this woman, I don't even know. It seems like some sort of criminal charges or something. I'm not sure. But but the way the interviewer was talking to her, and the girl keeps trying to say, well, I was confused and sick and stuff. And she's just like, yeah, but you weren't. There's going to be so much more humility in exposing of the lies and the treachery that people have carried inside of them, the darkness. And it's going to be a public humiliation, but you got to remember that is something about tying up loose ends in your soul's journey. And that is going to be really abrupt lessons. Public humiliation is very, it's a tactic they use to control us. And so, yeah, it's going to really hit hard on some people. And some people don't see it coming. some people, there's going to be more public humiliation that's going to go on as more and more is exposed. And so, hopefully more of these people are starting to catch on. But I've seen people talk about the negative side of division and then keeps talking about being divided between a certain group. It's like, but why don't people catch on to their own thing, the stuff that they're saying? Why don't they catch on to that? And they just push on, it's, I don't know, it's kind of like judgment or something. Like everybody can notice what somebody else is doing, but they can't notice what their own selves is doing. But that's why the universe is going to give the assist that they are. And they're going to make sure everybody gets the opportunity to see them own selves. And that's the time of mirrors. That's the time that we're headed into. And some people are already getting that look at themselves. And the jeez. That hurt. Hold on. Man. I swear to God, they're always fucking attacking my throat. My throat has been under attack, though, for so long in my life. And I don't know if it's because this hurts, man. I'm about to go. Oh, it hurts too bad. It's like I got stabbed. So, anyways, I think you see where I'm going. But remember to love yourself. Love everyone. And have a living day.